As a seasoned Star Wars enthusiast who has witnessed the epic saga unfold over the years, I must say that Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda's decision to withhold the truth from Luke Skywalker about his family was undeniably rooted in fear. A fear born out of their past experiences with Anakin Skywalker. They feared that Luke's attachment to his sister Leia could lead him down a path similar to his father's. But this apprehension, while understandable, was tainted by the weight of their own regrets and shortcomings. A key moment in the movie Return of the Jedi implies that the Jedi may not have fully grasped one crucial lesson from the Star Wars saga, and it's conceivable they haven't yet, even today. The execution of Order 66 stands as one of the darkest events in the Star Wars chronology, yet this doesn't exonerate the Jedi Order from its errors. In fact, during the era of the prequel trilogy, the Jedi made several significant mistakes. It's important to note that the Jedi weren't responsible for Order 66, which was a ruthless act they didn't deserve, masterminded by one of Star Wars' most formidable Sith. However, it's striking to consider that even survivors like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda, who lived through Order 66, might not have grasped all the lessons from the decline of the Jedi Order. In essence, Return of the Jedi reveals that Obi-Wan and Yoda continued adhering to a specific Jedi rule, but it caused problems for them in the past. Corporation. Without a doubt, one of the most jaw-dropping plot twists in the original Star Wars trilogy came when we learned that Darth Vader was actually Luke Skywalker's father in back during The Empire Strikes Back. And though nothing quite matched the shock value of that revelation, the twist in Return of the Jedi that Luke and Leia were siblings certainly gave it an unpriced money. This revelation not only raised some uncomfortable questions about their kiss in The Empire Strikes Back, but also introduced and equally supporting them. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Master Yoda had known all along that Leia was Luke's sister, yet they chose to keep this information hidden from him. So, in both instances, the two Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda, had, ample chances to reveal the truth to Luke Skywalker. Such disclosure would have significantly altered events. Firstly, Obi-Wan could have told Luke about their secretive kiss in A New Hope, avoiding an awkward moment between them. Crucially, if either Obi-Wan or Yoda had informed Luke that Leia Organa was his sister earlier, it would have helped him anticipate Darth Vader exploiting this relationship against him in Return of the Jedi. In the climactic battle of Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader managed to provoke Luke Skywalker by hinting at an attempt to convert Leia Organa to the dark side. Despite his steadfast refusal to engage or harm his father before this point, Luke's emotions overtook him as he gave in to anger and came close to being consumed on by it. If Luke had been informed about Leia's true identity, his sister, by Obi-Wan Kenobi or Master Yoda, and if he had been trained to relinquish such emotional ties, he might have managed to resist this sudden surge of anger and the lure of the dark side. Obi-Wan and Yoda chose to keep secret from Luke about his destiny, primarily out of concern that his connection to his sister might lead him down a dark path. Given that Anakin Skywalker, Luke's father, succumbed to the dark side due to his strong emotional ties, it's understandable why they would be wary. However, it's important to remember that just because Luke is related to Anakin doesn't necessarily mean he shares the same weaknesses. This assessment might not be entirely fair, but it played a role in their decision-making process. It's likely that Obi-Wan Kenobi and Master Yoda intended for Luke Skywalker to become a fully trained Jedi before confronting the issue of attachment, given the way that he dealt with it. Since he ultimately discovered the truth about his family, despite briefly using his anger in his battle against Darth Vader, he managed to resist completely succumb to the dark side. It seems that this was their plan all along.
And the Jedi Council had always been cautious about emotional ties, and in truth, this apprehension was what led them to refuse Anakin's entry into the Jedi Order at first, and thought that the affection Anakin held for his mother rendered him unfit for the Order, as it could easily transform into fear, anger, and hatred. In a sense, the distancing themselves from Anakin only served to exacerbate his emotional bonds with individuals outside of the Order, not just his mother, but also Padme. This could be seen as a self-fulfilling prediction by the Jedi, as it pushed Anakin further into feeling lonely and estranged, thus intensifying his attachments. It seems Anakin's downfall, due to his attachments, served as a grim reminder for Master Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi that such ties could be perilous and potentially devastating to the Jedi Order. Yet this incident underscores the fact that the Jedi Order failed to learn from their past mistakes regarding how they managed these connections. In other words, it wasn't about the prohibition of emotional bonds. It was more about the way they dealt with them. And in essence, the Jedi lacked compassion towards Anakin and Luke in significant ways. For Anakin, the Jedi could have shown more empathy as he transitioned to their way of life, realizing that his upbringing was traditional and naturally made him love and be attached to Padme. With Luke, Yoda and Obi-Wan should have confided in him about Leia being his sister. Regrettably, these instances in Return of the Jedi reveal that, even at the conclusion of the original Star Wars saga, the Jedi had not corrected this error in judgment.